Welcome to AFSPA Talks, a production of the American Foreign Service Protective Association. Each month, we deliver informative health and wellness topics you want to know about, so make sure to subscribe to us on your preferred podcast platform. And if you have any questions about content discussed in this episode, ask them at AFSPA Live, our live Q&A session streaming every last Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/AFSPA Cares. Now here's your host, Chief Executive Officer Kyle Longton.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of AFSPA Talks. I'm Kyle Longton, and with me as always is...
Maddie Norton.
Maddie, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Kyle.
It is 2026, and we are actually later this year approaching our 5th anniversary for AFSPA Talks.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, we got a Spotify style year in review. Did you watch that?
I did.
We
I was
did
very
not post
impressed.
it for our listeners, but incredible amount of content that's out there, and we're happy to continue adding to it
Yes.
for longtime listeners and those new to the program. Before we get to anything about today's episode, I want to do an AFSPA Talks exclusive.
Yes.
Which is to introduce our theme for the year.
Yep.
So longtime members may be familiar. For a number of years now, we've offered sort of a theme around which we do some of our programming and some of our messaging throughout the year. And we debated this internally, and we've come up with the theme of better tools, better health.
And I think it is perfect for everything that we offer and everything that our members have access to. So
absolutely. And so we're going to spend a lot of our time this year, as we have in the past, talking about the tools, the programs, the services that are available to AFSPA members across all of our programs, not just the Foreign Service Benefit Plan, but what's available to our members, how they can use that to improve their health, and health broadly defined, not just, what do the numbers say when you go to the doctor's office, but how do you actually feel? How are you functioning? Your financial health, all across the board. And I think we're going to start off the year also not focusing, at least in this forum, on Foreign Service Benefit Plan. A lot out there about that. Happy to answer questions on that, and we'll have some more coming on that in the months ahead. But for now, we've got a different focus for January.
we do. Our focus for January is all of our ancillary insurance programs. So ancillary January kind of rhymes. You kind of have to say a little weird, but we're going to go with that for our monthly theme. And so we offer a multitude of different insurances, and we're going to be talking about one today, which we'll get into in a little bit. But for this month, we have a Prudential webinar that's happening, and it's going to be all about financial wellness. So if you are interested in that, that is going to be happening on January 22nd, which is a Thursday. It's called First Steps to Financial Freedom, and we are going to offer that at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So definitely register on our website at aspa.org/events if you are interested in that webinar. And we also have the rest of our webinars already posted. So if you want to get ahead of the crowd, go ahead and sign up for those. And then for AFSPA Live this month, we will be talking about a deep dive into dental. So this is just a little tease of what we're going to be talking about for AFSPA Live, and that'll be on January 29th, which is also a Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and you can find us at AFSPA Cares on YouTube. And if you can't make that, don't worry. You can watch it anytime after the show is ended, and you can watch all of our AFSPA Lives there and all of our AFSPA Talks episodes. So that's a little bit about what we're doing this month.
Yeah, and when it comes to AFSPA Live, we'll be focusing on dental. We'll be taking any questions you have during that time, even if they're outside dental. That'll be our focus.
Yes.
And you can submit questions ahead of time. So there'll be information coming out to our membership in advance of that program to allow you to weigh in with questions you have. And we do our best to address all of those as we can during the broadcast. So I hope that you will join us, whether you're a frequent attendee or if this is your first time. I know we've got a lot of members, and I'll just mention that also, Maddie, that we had record growth during this most recent open season in our Foreign Service Benefit Plan. Almost 5,000 new enrollees, over 10% growth. So We are working to
Crazy.
keep up with that.
We are, we
Um,
are. We are
uh,
so excited to have you guys as well.
Absolutely,
Old and
absolutely.
new. Yeah.
And we are in the process of hiring new members for the AFSPA team to support that new membership.
Yes.
So bear with us during that time. Yes, there are some longer wait times, especially right now. We've got new members calling with new questions and some new programs that have been introduced. So bear with us. We will get back to you and we will improve throughout the year. So welcome.
Absolutely.
And for those who are returning members, thanks for sticking with us.
Absolutely.
But to get
Kyle,
back to Ancillary January,
yeah.
what's our topic for today?
Today we are talking about the Careington discount program. And we have a great guest with us as well. So very excited to get into all that the discount program offers and answer some burning questions we have.
Well, my first burning question is who's our guest?
I would love to introduce her. Valerie DeBruin is our guest. She is the Vice President of Specialty Benefit Sales, and she began her career with Careington International Corporation in 2008. During her tenure, she has held leadership roles in sales, account management, product development, and network operations. Ms. DeBruin was instrumental in the successful launch of Careington's affiliate, Monroe Sutton, which offers a first of its kind dental and optical network in the UK. In her previous role as Vice President of Network Operations, she helped Careington's expansive national discount and PPO provider networks experience tremendous growth and widen client opportunities. As Vice President of Specialty Benefit Sales, Mr. Bruin brings her years of dental experience to the sales team and provides unique benefit solutions and product selection strategies to Fortune 5000 companies, organizations, and employers.
Let's get her in here and answer some of those other burning questions.
Exactly.
And Valerie, welcome to AFSPA Talks. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're so excited to have you, Valerie. And we want to start off with some basics. So we'll start easy. What is Careington?
One of my favorite questions, and I promise not to give you the 2.5 hour plane flight edition. So, Careington has over 45 years experience in the ancillary benefits space, and dental is really a cornerstone of what we offer. We were founded by dentists, and as such, we manage several large nationwide dental networks today. And while we have proprietary products like dental and our virtual care programs, we also partner with best in class products and services that add complementary programs to what we offer, such as vision. And we also have expanded over time into financial wellness and lifestyle products. So anything kind of that you can think of in that ancillary, non traditional benefit space.
That's great. And that's exactly where we have been a proud partner with Careington for a number of years. I think actually we're coming up on a decade of partnership. And we focused on a unique offering for our members, at least unique for us, and that's discount programs. And specifically today, I'm hoping we could spend some time talking about the combined vision and dental discount program. So we'll hopefully start off easy with that as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that program and how it works?
Well, Kyla, you and I both prepared the same because I also went back and looked at how long we've been partners. So since 2017. But we offer with you guys, we've been offering with you guys a dental vision and LASIK program. In all cases, it's very simple to use. So you'll receive a membership kit in the mail once you enroll. You'll get a couple ID cards with that. And anytime you're looking to access the dental or vision programs, you'll present that card at the time of service, and you'll also get those savings right at the time of service. With LASIK, there's a little bit more hand holding. There's a great phone number and a wonderful company QualSight that supports that. They'll help walk you through that, connecting you with a surgeon, getting a consultation, and help you understand kind of what those savings would be as well.
All right. And before we go any further, many of our listeners may be familiar with dental and vision insurance, but how does this program specifically differ from normal insurance?
So the great thing about this not being an insurance plan is that means there's no waiting periods and there's a lot more flexibility with the program. So you can enroll at any time throughout the year. You're not just limited to open enrollment. With the savings program, you also save immediately upon enrollment. So once you receive that ID card, you're able to start using it right away. And there's no limits or frequency limitations tied to that as well.
That's good. And you preempted my next question, both about waiting periods and frequency. You know, it's not just limited, for instance, to 2 cleanings and exams, or I think my vision insurance covers new frames every 2 years. And my
Okay.
eyes seem to be changing a little faster than that. So let me just jump in then to sort of what services are included in this. You know, does the dental side cover orthodontic services or maybe even implants? And on the vision side, is it frames and contacts? Is it just the lenses? What are we talking about?
Great question. So on the dental, we'll kind of start there. The savings range from 20 to 60%, and it's off of all the procedure codes that the dental office offers. So anytime you go into that dental office, you are going to save on those procedures. And that does include things like that might not be covered with a traditional dental program, orthodontia, implants. If you're getting a veneer or maybe some teeth whitening done, people don't always think about that, but those are most definitely not usually covered on traditional dental insurance. But this would be a great opportunity to realize those savings with this program. For our vision program, if you're purchasing glasses, eye exams are $50. So there's set rates, which is wonderful because you kind of know exactly what you're going to pay when you go in. There's set rates for the lenses, and members also save an additional 25% on frames. For contact lenses, there's a 15% savings off of the regular price of those contact lenses as well. So while the exam is limited once a year, you do have unlimited access to savings on materials throughout the year.
Nice. I know that's incredible because I had to go to the dentist over Christmas break, and they were like, "You need a night guard," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Is that included in insurance?" It's not. So I definitely would have benefited from a program like this.
Yeah.
Um,
And the question is
but
now, are you going to wear the night guard?
yes. After spending that much money on it,
Yeah.
I will be wearing the night guard for sure.
I've had to start wearing mine again so that I can sleep better because,
Yes.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
still fits after a few years. So
Okay.
keep up with it.
Yeah, no, definitely will be keeping up with it.
I've seen lots
I
of really
know,
great new things too around how you can clean them a lot easier than you could in the past. So lots
yes,
of fun stuff out in the world in the Googleverse for that.
I know. She was my dentist assistant was like telling me all the things, and I was like, wow, okay. I felt like I needed a notebook to write it all down. But yeah. Let's talk about access. I know that's really important to our members. Are we looking like how large are the network of providers?
So our networks are or they're nationwide networks, so also available in Puerto Rico. There's a couple caveats to the program. There is a limitation in Washington and Vermont. So if you live in those states, you're not able to purchase the program. However, if you're traveling to those states, and let's say you have a dental emergency or you have something that you need to have done, we do have dentists and vision providers in those states. It's just you can't purchase the program if that's where you reside. That being said, as I said, dental nationwide network. We have over 40,000 providers within unique providers within that network. So there is a wonderful provider search. If you're looking to see, hey, is my dentist within the network? You can find that on the AFSPA landing page that we have dedicated for you guys. And that, I know we're going to mention this a couple different times throughout. Maybe you guys put little flash of careington.com/co/AFSPA, and that will get you right to the landing page and that provider search. In the same way with the vision, we have a lot of the VSP network. That's the partner that we use for that program. They have independent providers as well as some of the really large networks like VisionWorks and Lens Crafters. So there should be somebody in your area if you're doing a quick search there. And QualSight, as I had said earlier, for the LASIK services, they do a bit more hand-holding. So you'll call that number and they'll help you connect with a surgeon.
Okay. So we talked about what's covered. We've talked about the networks. We've talked about no waiting periods, no limitations. What about cost? Are we looking at these similar to insurance, or what would members be paying to take advantage of the combined program?
So this is a subscription service. If you think about it like a Costco or your Netflix membership, this is kind of that same idea. So for a member-only program, it's $7.95 a month. So I think Starbucks coffee now runs for that these days.
My Netflix certainly costs more than that.
No, I got the same message. And there's also a discount if you decide to pay annually.
Okay.
We also have a member at plus one rate of
All right.
$12.95 a month and a member and family rate of $14.95 a month. And that's your whole household. So whoever's living with you at your address. So a lot of flexibility here so you can pick the right plan for you. But again, if you're a member only for the cost or for the price of a cup of coffee, you can save massively on your dental and vision needs and services.
All right. It's January, and many people may be resolving to take better care of themselves. Let's turn to some information on dental health. Why should they include dental health in their plans for the year?
And I don't think this is new news. This most certainly isn't new news, but your oral health is connected to your whole body health. When you think about it, what you're putting into your mouth then gets swallowed. And if you've got poor oral health or bacteria in your mouth or tooth decay happening, you're swallowing that into your whole body. And so there's been really great studies around the connection of kind of your oral health to chronic diseases like diabetes or cardiovascular disease, respiratory issues, and in some cases, dementia and even cancer. There's a lot of really good information if you do want to dive deeper into this on the CDC. If you go to cdc.gov /oral.health or dash health, you'll be able to find all of that detail around that. But I think what's really important, and dentists are certainly trying to lead that conversation, and healthcare companies as well. That it's so important from a prevention standpoint and for your overall and your whole body health to make sure that you're taking care of your oral health care.
Absolutely. And Maddie shared her recent experience with going to the dentist. I'm going to go back in time a little bit and confess that there was a time during college and grad school when I didn't visit a dentist for probably 5 or 6 years. And let's just be honest, I probably wasn't eating the best during this period of time. And so a friend was worried, encouraged me to go. I ended up having 7 cavities that
Oh
needed
my
attention
goodness.
and a few follow-up visits. So it was worth it because the alternative could have been much worse. I do have cardiovascular disease in my family. I've shared my experience with diabetes on this podcast before. So for anyone out there who is hesitant or nervous, take a couple steps. Go ahead and sign up for this discount program, find a provider, and make an appointment. Do that now. Get started on that resolution, on that part of your health for the year. And I just will note that my time away from the dentist wasn't because it makes me nervous or anxious, but I know a lot of people have that reaction when they think about going to the dentist, right? They get anxiety, they're put it off and put it off. Are there options for them out there, Valerie? What options exist in the dentistry field to help people relax a little bit more?
I'm so glad we're talking about this. I just saw an article that said that 3 out of 4 people have some type of fear of the dentist. So by no means, if you had been, nervous, by no means are you alone. So there's a lot of things you can do, and some of them newer than others, and some of them more common sense. But one of the things that you can do, I think that whole education or removing the fear of the unknown is important. So find a dentist that you feel really comfortable with. Make sure you share your fear with them. You will not be the first person who's told them that you're nervous to be there. I promise you. And they're going to spend extra time kind of walking you through what it is they're going to do. And sometimes that education is really helpful. Kind of another step, over and above that would be creating distraction tactics for yourself. Maybe it's bringing headphones with you to the office and you're listening to an audiobook or music that really kind of soothes you. And that also kind of maybe blocks out some of the noises that might be driving some of those concerns or nervous feelings. But even further than that, 30 to 40% of dental offices today offer sedation dentistry. So if you really just don't really, want to be very calm about things, there are options for you. Dental offices will often advertise that on their website. So there's an easy way to find that. But like I said, 30 to 40%, that's grown tremendously
Mhm.
in the last decade. So I think dentists are really, they don't want you to put off your prevention and just for all the reasons that Kyle shared earlier, because you are nervous. So kind of taking those first steps, just know that there's a few different options for you. I was just going to share that in my office, they actually have a giant TV that's on the ceiling. So they have one right in front and on the ceiling, and it can play whatever I want. I love cooking shows. So half the time that's what they're playing. And it's I think there's a lot of dental offices that have done those strides to make you more comfortable in the office and in the chair.
Let me jump in with some basic questions then. Um, and Valerie, I know that you've consulted with dentists who are there at Careington and others to help walk us through some of this. How often generally should someone visit a dentist?
So the general consensus is you should visit your dentist every 6 months. And now I will say, just kind of like in most cases in life, every person is unique. So if you've got some periodontal issues, there may be a recommendation by your dentist to go in more times throughout the year. And like we said earlier, if you have the Careington plan, you'll save each of those times. You're not limited in those scenarios, but definitely consult with your dentist, but make that attempt to get there every 6 months if you can.
Good. And I just had a conversation with my sister recently who has a young child. I have my own as well. Mine are a little bit older, but at what age is it recommended that a child first see a dentist?
Must be something in the water because we all have personal experiences. I have a 2-year-old and I have a 6-month-old. So I've literally just gone through this, but also consulting with our on-staff clinician as well as the ADA. The recommendation is that you get into the dentist within the first year by their first birthday or within 6 months of getting their first tooth. And there's a few different reasons for that. One, they're going to do early detection of things like tooth decay. All that the milk has sugars in it can cause things like, you may have heard of things like bottle rot. That's stuff that they're going to look for, tooth decay. And then also they're going to start educating on good habits. So starting even when, especially as I start thinking about my 2-year-old, she's brushing her teeth in the morning and at night. Now, what does that look like? We're kind of just getting to the habit, the routine of kind of doing the things and letting mom and dad do that. It could be a battle at times, but we're starting to build those healthy habits. And then the other thing they're gonna check for are like alignment and jaw issues. There's so much movement happening. So in my case, actually with my 2-year-old, there's a couple things we're keeping an eye on. So we're going in every 3 months, and there's an added benefit to that. And going back to the fear of the dentist, she, from the first visit that we had in there where, the strangers kind of, and I will say these are very, very, very quick appointments.
Oh, sure.
So, if you're worried about like bringing your child in and is it going to be just like when I go in, very different. You go in, they're going to be comforted by you. And, the dentist they're going to do their quick checks. They're going to do a little brush if they can. And we're starting to build that healthy habit. And then, give the recommendations. One of the times I swear I was going crazy because I was like, she has just been up all night. I know she's teething. Well, the dentist did a little, she goes, well, yeah, poor girl, she's growing 4 teeth at once right now. And I went, oh my gosh, okay. Well, now I feel a little less insane because I knew something was going on with her. So it gave me a little bit of a comfort as well. But Scarlett has, she loves picking her toy out at the little toy box and treasure chest that they have at the office. And really cater to them. So, and then they have Bluey on TV. So you can't go wrong.
Nope. Never.
But really want to get, just like prevention, there's so much change happening in their mouth as they're growing all of these teeth in the first couple of years. So it's great to keep an eye on all of that. Talk about pacifier use and all that good stuff. I could go down the rabbit hole here much longer, but I won't bore you guys to tears on that.
I appreciate that because I think I waited till later before my kids saw a dentist for the first time. And my youngest hit age 1 right as the COVID pandemic led to a shutdown. So we were doing some interesting approaches and some delays and things like that. Not always able to get to a dentist in person. And I think that raises sort of one of the last questions I have, which we've talked about on this previous episode of this podcast, but for new listeners or for those who may need a reminder, one of the things that's come up before is teledentistry. And we've worked hard to encourage people to think about telehealth and telemedicine options as accessible ways to get acute care as well as primary care. But I think there's more skepticism about teledentistry because that is, people feel, you really need to get a hands-on and get close exam and so forth. So I know it exists. I know that in some cases dentists offer it and so forth, but what are those cases? When might it be appropriate?
Yeah, so Careington actually has a teledentistry network. So we have a bit of experience with this, and I can give you a few different use cases that we see this in play for. And I can assure you that it's not, hey, here's how you put in your own crown. I think one of you talk about good habits. So our iPhones and our cell phones are very, very advanced now, much more than they were. I mean, each year and all the releases, they're getting clearer and clearer. So there's a lot that you can actually see. And we get this from our clinicians. There's a lot that you can see in those photographs. So in teledentistry, oftentimes you may be taking pictures of your mouth. Or the concern, if you have a very specific one, and you're sending that through for a dentist, a licensed dentist in your state to take a look at. And that may be something where I just want to get an idea, am I brushing correctly? Am I missing things? Or am I doing, am I on a good path? I think more, especially when you talk about COVID times, and that was really the emergence of our network. One of the biggest use cases is around avoiding the ER and the emergency room and those costs. You're not going to find a dentist in the ER in most cases. So what they're going to do is they're going to patch you up and kind of send you on your way if you're feeling tooth pain. But you're still more than likely going to end up needing to visit a dentist or get a consult by a dentist at some point. So if you're feeling tooth pain, for example, and it's 11 o'clock on a Saturday, because of course it is, and your dental office isn't open, teledentistry is a great option. Give them a ring. They may have, whether it's a prescription or a recommendation to walk you through, kind of, you're going to be okay until, the office opens, do these things until that happens. So you can get some good guidance. Or here's what I think is happening. You may have cracked a tooth on that piece of popcorn you had, or, kind of go from there. And the last one, and I do think that there's a huge benefit here, is a consultative or a second opinion approach. So I get that there's a little bit of skepticism when the dentist is also the one running your credit card, when they tell you might have, a cavity that may have led to a crown. And a lot of times, sometimes you're not always feeling that pain when they're telling you, oh, that tooth might need you might need a filling or you might need a crown. So to get an unbiased second opinion to back that up, or like Kyle, in your case that you're sharing, what can happen if I let these, 7 cavities go on and I don't do anything about them? It can get very, very costly. Crowns are not inexpensive, although you can save a lot of money on the Careington plan. But the second opinion is great. Not everybody has, like we have here at, Careington, our clinician or our dental director to go to and say, here's what they're telling me. Is that something that you'd agree with? So I think that's really, really helpful as well. So there's a lot of ways that you can use teledentistry that I think not everybody immediately thinks about.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. And I appreciate that because, again, I think that's an area where people maybe are a little more skeptical, but the second opinion in particular, we do a lot of second opinion services and so forth for our health plan. And I think people do feel a little locked in when they're in the dentist chair and it's like, oh, you need thousands of dollars. And it's, oh, what do I do? This is a great option for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Valerie, before we wrap up, is there anything that you feel like we've missed? Anything that you would add about either the dental and vision discount program or anything else about our partnership between AFSPA and Careington?
Well, first of all, thank you and Maddie for having me. It's amazing for such a long time be a part of the many great benefits that you guys offer your members. One that we haven't really touched on much today is that everybody has access to our free hearing program. So you can get a consultation. It's through True Hearing. You can find all the details on the careington.com/co/AFSPA landing page. So where you find the dental and vision program details, you can find the free hearing program details. And it's 45 day risk-free trial. If you are getting hearing aids, they have very low rates, set fees that are below the nationwide average. So you're saving on those hearing aids themselves as well. And then you'll have some additional follow-ups that come with the program as well. So should you need additional fittings to make sure that they're working the way that they should be, they help walk you through all of that as well. But overall, please just bear in mind, all these things have whole body health impacts. So take care of your dental and vision health, whether you do it with us through Careington and the benefits and that way or on your own, but please make it a priority this new year.
Thank you very much. And I'll give a personal endorsement to the hearing aid discount program. I've used it twice myself. I'm in the process, have an appointment later this month to use it for a third time for my hearing needs. So I'm a big fan and I did save over $3,000 on my last pair. So don't let that stand between you and living your full life if you've got hearing loss. And Valerie, Thank you very much. Thanks for taking us through these programs and this partnership that we have with Careington. We look forward to having you on again in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again to Valerie DeBruin for joining us for today's episode. For more information on AFSPA's partnership with Careington and on all of our ancillary programs, please visit afspa.org/AIP. And we'll post that along with the landing page Valerie mentioned in today's show notes. This has been AFSPA Talks, a production of the American Foreign Service Protective Association. All information offered in this podcast is meant to be educational. The views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily represent AFSPA. Should there be any discrepancy between information offered in this podcast and official plan documents for the Foreign Service Benefit Plan or the other products offered by AFSPA, the policy provisions will prevail. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe to AFSPA Talks to catch our next episode. Please rate and review us on your favorite podcast app and share your feedback with us on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Search for @AFSPA Cares. You can also catch video episodes on our YouTube page. Again, search for AFSPA Cares. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks for listening to this episode of AFSPA Talks. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss an episode. If you have any follow-up questions about the topics in this episode, join our AFSPA Live Q&A session on the last Thursday of every month. We will be streaming live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/AFSPA Cares. Thanks for listening.